It's a new year, but same old story in many ways for Barcelona. Still a lot of financial issues to be sorted out. Still players to be registered. I think as of today, it's 16, if I've counted correctly. Give us a quick overview as to the main talking points, as to what is going on with Barcelona off the pitch right now. Again, so where do we start?
So much.
30 seconds.
Well, quite clearly, on Friday, Xavi Hernandez, the manager of Barcelona, did not know which players he could use at the weekend today. And that's because Barcelona have left it to the last second, really, to bring the kind of money they need to register players. They cannot use levers. That is abandoned. But what has happened is that some of the companies that were levers and brought money into the club did not pay. So they were allowed, Barcelona, to actually bring more money coming in, and they managed to get 120 million into the club. Great, but they can only use 60 million because of financial fair play, which means that they've been able to, with that money, register players, but not all of them.
Right.
In any case, Gundogan, 24 hours before his first game, he could have been a free player.
This is a really important point because they did register Araujo on Friday night, Gundogan yesterday morning, and it had something to do with a clause in his contract, right? Because there was a very real possibility that he could have just walked away.
Imagine Gundogan, who had said to Barcelona 3 months ago, I'm coming to Barcelona. Imagine that he gets offers from Saudi Arabia, a massive offer from Manchester City to actually stay at the club. And Barcelona don't know if they can register him. So he has gone through this tension, if you like. But of course, he had the release in the contract that if Barcelona could not register him, imagine the situation, he could have walked free. Finally, they resolved it, and he's in the lineup.
He's in the lineup. We'll talk more about what he offers to Barcelona from a football point of view later on. But I do want to talk about Dembele because it is a very important absentee in the list. Xavi feels really hard done by with his decision to leave. It's a personal sort of point of pain, I think, for him in a way, because he had given so much to try to reincorporate Dembele after all of the injuries and so many people had written him off. But he is an important, or was an important player for Barcelona because he offered something a little bit different to everybody else in the squad.
Yeah, on paper, Dembele and Rafinha are pretty similar. But the reality is when Dembele play, offers something else than Rafinha. For what Barcelona won, which is taking players on, 1v1 situations, he is the best. On the other hand, I think Rafinha is better in terms of scoring goals. So it kind of levels up the thing. It is a big miss. Of course, there is a big miss. It would have been terrible if Dembele leaves Barcelona and they don't have Rafinha, but they have Rafinha. So I think that more or less levels scale, and Barcelona will be okay with him.
We don't have the numbers, but I do remember at the end of the season, if you did compare the two of them in terms of goals, assists, and some other things, they were actually almost identical in terms of what the two were producing for Barcelona. But talking about Dembele, and again, that relationship with Xavi once more, you have to explain why it is that it's so difficult for Xavi to actually have to say goodbye to Dembele after all this.
I could give you 20 examples of it, but one is, when Xavi and him met, Dembele, Xavi said, do you want to go to PSG? And Dembele said, no. He said even more. He said, being coached by Luis Enrique, I don't want that at all. Xavi thought, great. 24 hours later, he actually announces to the club, Dembele says to the club, I want to go to PSG. So personally, the relationship was broken. And as you said, Xavi for a while tried to convince him to stay, told him how important he was. And I know you're talking Rafinha, Dembele, great. But now one is gone. They had two options. One is gone. And Xavi considered him the match winner that Barcelona needs to get to the levels that he wanted to, and they don't have that now.